Hey, yo, what a div, y'all. Let's get right into it. Over the weekend, my homeboy Dread, maybe you know him, the last Depop guy. He's also the editor for my videos, by the way. Say hey, Dread. Um, you might know him, right? He hit me up. He had a great yap idea for his channel, and it was a great yap idea. Like I loved listening to the video where he talked about how he titled it "I genuinely don't want you to play Last Epoch right now." Which, okay, a little bit of an aggressive title, but look, man, y'all know how the algorithm go, right? Sometimes you gotta do a little bit of the clicky baity to get a point across that needs to be stated. And I think the point of that video was really strong. And I told him, like, I want to piggyback off of this video idea. And I definitely feel the need to now, knowing that he had to take down the video due to how virulent his comments got. And again, I think it's just because of the more aggressive nature that he has from being a person who's experienced this once already, maybe even twice in the Last Epoch community. Which the message is simple: if you want to play another game, do it. That's awesome. Don't do it though because you're mad at another game, right? You don't say, man, you know what? I'm gonna pick up Battlefield 4 because, or well, this is back in the day for me, right? But like, it's not like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go play Battlefield 4 because I'm just so sick of the way COD treats. Like, no, I played Battlefield 4 because I thought it was awesome, right? Um, I didn't go try Diablo 4 when it came out because I was angry at the way that PoE 1 was treating me, even though I was. That wasn't the reason. It's because I was a fan of Diablo 3 and I got really hyped up seeing the trailers and whatnot for Diablo 4 and I wanted to play Diablo 4. Last Epoch 1.0 was not because I was tired of the way PoE was treating us. It was because Last Epoch 1.0 was looking pretty cool and I wanted to try it out. And it was pretty cool, right? Outside of the server issues on the first day, right? Like it was super cool. That you should be excited for what a game is bringing you, not excited for the opportunity to hate on the games around them. This is essential. And I said that, Dread put that message potentially a little bit harsher because, quite frankly, it's happened a couple times already in the LE community. And it's easy to underestimate the impact of, a bubble of negativity. It's why I generally try not to talk too much negatively on the channel. I talk critically, right? I give criticisms, but I don't try to talk negatively on this channel because I don't want to foster an environment of just pure negativity and hate for the things that I enjoy. Because the reality is, I enjoy ARPGs, not specific ARPGs, ARPGs as a whole, and that means that I need to be able to talk about any and all of them when possible and relevant. And it's not possible to please everybody in that area, but it's still something to do. And now you might be thinking, wait a minute. Didn't she post a video hating on PoE 2? I posted that video because people were under the expectation that I would be posting content about the game. And I needed to make it clear that I was not going to be making content anymore. And what's got me to the point of not wanting to make content about that game. Very different from me actually hoping that the game fails or absolutely despising it, which is where some people like it's not a despise thing. I just wasn't having fun. Right. And it's important to just make sure it's like, I just wasn't having fun. I'm looking forward to this other experience. Because in terms of Last Epoch, this happened already. Twice, actually. Expedition League and Calandra League. If you're a Paleo 1 player, you remember these leagues very well, right? You remember your flask not working for ailments anymore. You remember supports getting just taken from the top rope. You remember what the game felt like back then. And same for Calandra. You remember how brutal Arcanum, even in its second league after being core and having been nerfed out a ton of times, still felt. You remember how brutal it felt to have the historic loot multiplier removed from the game, right? People were unhappy as hell with PoE both of those times. And both times, a large amount of unhappy players migrated over to Last Epoch. But they didn't migrate over to Last Epoch because, it was a game that they were excited to see, because if they were excited to see it, they would have gone over during, say, when 0.8 dropped, when 0.9 dropped, when 0.92 dropped, right? They would have gone over during one of those time periods. Instead, they went over hateful. They went over angry at what PoE 1 had done. And they had fostered communities of negativity that honestly still exist to this day. Shout out to Perry the Pig. Feels bad that his community is still kind of like this, but it used to be way worse. If you don't know, Perry the Pig was a creator that I used to watch and like, hang out in the chat of, and he was a friend of mine and all that stuff. It was really cool to like interact with him. He was a really nice guy, who left PoE during Expedition for a bit, and it wasn't even meant to be a permanent break. It was just that he was kind of frustrated with the game and went to go play Let's Epoch game instead, and he attracted a community of people who were all angry, and that anger like meant that he could never. That anger festered. He created a community that actually meant that he wasn't even really able to return to PoE effectively for content purposes because his community was just so hateful about it, right? And so when I think about what Dread meant in his video, this is what he's talking about. It's not that you're not allowed to dislike PoE 2. Otherwise, me and Dread wouldn't see eye to eye, right? Because I've always had negative opinions on PoE 2, and he actually really likes PoE 2. But we would just have not seen eye to eye as people in that environment. If that was his take, is that I'm not allowed to not enjoy it. It's that you don't want to bring that baggage with you, right? Now, the analogy he used in the video, which I think is a great analogy, quite frankly, is imagine you date someone, y'all break up. It's a nasty breakup, right? Like it's not a peaceful breakup at all. It's a hateful breakup. And now the person you broke up with, they're sitting there like, man, I got to get back at your ass. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to date your homie. That's what I'm going to do. Now you're over there like, whoa, that's crazy. But the crazy part is that the damage that does to the homeboy, right? I've been that homie before who has been approached by people in moments of spite, and it's not a good thing for them. It's not like it's not like I'm over there like, oh man, this is so cool that I'm getting approached. I'm like, whoa, I'm it caused a drama between me and my homie. You don't even really like me like that. You're just mad that my homeboy dogged you out or whatever. Like, don't bring me into that, right? You should be coming to fuck with me because you like what I offer to the table, what I bring to the table, not because you dislike what somebody close to me, like dislike what somebody else did and I'm close to them. We don't win as a community if these games and studios fail or go under, right? Like, hating on games and studios in the ARPG space is not productive, right? We can be critical of them. We can want them to improve and give like harsh criticisms the way that we did with Diablo 4 until they improved, the way that we've done historically with PoE 1 until it's improved, the way we did with the last Epoch until it improved, the way that Torchlight community has done it until they've improved, the way that Diablo 3 community did until it improved, and then they complained because they finally got all the changes they wanted right at the last minute, right? We are allowed to be critical. We are allowed to be pointed with our critiques and feedback about what we want to see change about the game, but we should not be hoping that they fail. We should not be hateful towards the game or their creators. I promise you, people are not making games the way that they are to spite you as an individual. You are not that important. And that goes to me too, right? These games are not being made going, fuck this guy in particular. That's not what they're doing. We're not that important. And so we shouldn't take it personally when games go under or games aren't what we want them to be. And it sucks, right? This is hard to do, right? We've been looking like with the PoE 2. I've been playing PoE since a year before PoE 2 was initially announced. I've been looking forward to this pretty much the entire time that I've been a PoE player. And it sucks that it went a different way than how I would have liked. And I have my critiques about even just, maybe making it something closer to what I would enjoy. But those are just critiques. I have no hatred for GDG. I have no hatred for PoE 2 because at the end of the day, it needs to succeed for the health of the genre and the health of the game, right? For the genre as a whole, I mean, it is currently the mainstay of it is currently the mainstream ARPG. We want that to succeed. We want people in the fucking ecosystem, right? We want the ARPG ecosystem to continue to grow. This is a part of that. I want it to do well. I want the people around it to, then I want the games around it to do well, right? GDG stabilizes PoE 2 and it does well. PoE 1's going to go back to getting support. Hopefully. Surely they're still not lying to us about making PoE1 work, right? PoE2 does well, PoE1 doing well, Torchlight Infinite and Last Epoch, for example, the two games that I'm excited to play next week, uh, they're going to have to do better because, well, they're competing now with a game that's doing better. It pushes them to be better. Iron sharpens iron. You get better by surrounding yourself with people who are doing well, not people who are suffering. So if the other games are doing well, now you got to step it up a level, right? Think about how quickly PoE went and got a currency exchange into PoE1 after seeing Last Epoch's Merchant Guild release, right? Turns out the people around you doing good things makes you want to do good things. This is important. So I agree fully with what Dredd said in his video. Be excited for the banger lineup that we have coming up. Be excited for the games themselves. Don't be hateful to PoE2. Just don't think about it. Just don't touch it. If you're like me, I took a little bit off of that. I'm not going to make content about it. I'm going to still probably play it every here and there as they add updates to it, especially even just trying out the small things that they do. And that's a me thing. Maybe you just don't want to touch it again until full release. That's fine. It is what it is. Forget it exists, quite frankly. And be excited to play that Last Epoch supposedly has this incredible endgame expansion coming out on the 17th. And Torchlight, we're going to find out what they're doing coming up this weekend, actually, right? And that kind of brings me to the end of the video. Be excited. There's a lot going on in the space that's worth being excited for. And if you're feeling a particular type of excited, I would like to let you know that me and the guys on the Embercast crew, we're going to be recording a video. We're going to be we're doing an episode of the podcast live this weekend, Saturday at 3 p.m. Eastern. We're going to be talking about the reveal trailer live. I'll also have a video here on the channel to talk about it after at some point after the fact, probably on Sunday, maybe Monday. To actually talk about the trailer and some of my thoughts in more detail. But we're going to be doing a live reaction on stream. I'll be streaming it, but also if you want the proper podcast view of it, it'll be on Riot Stream. I'll have the link and time in the description down below. You can also join the Discord to know when it's happening, all that stuff. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.